Yeah. My hands is like this. What's going on, good people? How y'all doing? Happy day. Subscribe to the channel and don't forget to share this video and give us some likes and comments. We love you guys.
All right. So y'all know we haven't done one of these in a minute. And I don't know who this guy is, but apparently he said we went to a Trump rally. What we heard will shock you. So I want to know, I don't even know who this guy is. But let's see what shocks him. We already know, we've seen several of these. It's the same results. Same results every time you go. You see love and
everybody is welcome,
being patriotic, and people want the best for their country. That's all I see when I see
everybody is welcome.
That's it. That's all I see.
Extreme socialism, obviously we'll all agree, communism doesn't work.
Yeah.
But extreme capitalism, as we're seeing right now,
does not
with
work.
this corporate capitalism, also has its problems.
How much money is too much money for one person?
It's a tough call. I know. When they have these billions, you're like, well, they really don't need it. Yeah, we agree with that.
Why Trump instead of Bernie Sanders?
What I look at is more progressives like the Bernie Sanders faction, stuff like that. We actually see a lot of the same problems.
And I would vote for a Bernie Sanders before I'd vote for like a Ted Cruz or a Marco Rubio.
What would it have taken for you
interesting.
guys to not go into the rally and to instead get ice cream with me, a flaming leftist?
Well, first of all, you'd
I'd
have
be
to
happy.
buy.
All right, I'm buying.
Flaming.
This is a different
We are polarized.
And you took the words out of my mouth. It is. But it seems like a good approach. It doesn't come from an approach of let's stir up the pot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not bashing.
There is no doubt about it. But I came to this Trump rally on a hunch. I've poured drinks at a Rust Belt dive bar for the last year, and when your county votes for Trump and the bartender looks like I do, people kind of assume that you're on the same page. But sometimes you actually are. So here's my hunch. For all the focus on culture war issues, the working class on the left and the right have a lot more in common than we're led to believe. And if that's true, it could and should have huge implications for the upcoming presidential election.
Okay.
So I went to Erie, Pennsylvania to find out. Are we rolling? Okay. We're here at the Trump rally today. Why did you come out today?
To support my 45th president. He didn't
Okay.
lose. He called out the Washington establishment, and I absolutely loved it. You know, he's definitely not a Republican because Mitch McConnell and them would be backing him, and DeSantis would be
Right.
obviously not a Democrat no more. So we're more of a politically homeless faction that loves America and will make all the changes that we can to make it great.
Prices.
I like what he just said. He said we're really in the middle. We're not Republican, because he right. If you a full blood Republican, Mitch McConnell will be on your side. Definitely not Democrat. He's like, we somewhere in the middle of making the country better. That's interesting. I never thought about that like that.
They're just higher. Like, you go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I buy the same thing every time I go to the grocery store. I spend $102 at Aldi's. I was just telling my uncle this.
Yeah.
I'm spending over $200 now.
Yeah.
So things are more expensive. I think people are more scared.
Our money doesn't have no value, and that's why we're having problems.
Yeah.
This whole inflation thing. It's been building and building for multi-decades, and it's getting close now.
You work at McDonald's, right?
I do.
Do you feel like you're getting everything out of work that you're putting into it?
I believe I should get paid more. All I am doing is I'm working my ass off to get my money. I'm a hard worker, and I feel like I deserve more.
I work down in West Virginia.
Yes.
Yep, on the rigs.
Well, I'm going to say when it comes to McDonald's, you could get paid more if you probably go into something else. But he said working rigs, so he get paid really good.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the level of work you go into. I don't know. I guess I don't believe in fighting.
And maybe it depends
fighting
on
for certain
what your job
things.
position is at McDonald's.
Correct.
It could
Now-
be management.
Now, that's different.
Yeah.
Area manager, those are different
Yeah.
because those fall into more career. You know.
For evil Big Red, Halliburton.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Halliburton, we were 2 weeks on, 1 week off, so you never got to go home. We were the lowest paid of all the workers out there. I only made $13.50 when I got hired on.
For Halliburton.
For Halliburton, yep.
Wow.
We wouldn't have an Iraq war if it wouldn't have been for the Halliburton
There's
and
a
Cheney and stuff. We were expendable. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Halliburton, Big Red, they called it. You're just part of the machine, and the machine can be replaced.
Yeah.
as expendable as people who went over to fight a rich person's war in Iraq.
Yep, pretty
Yeah.
much.
5 years ago, I came to the realization that I've been hoodwinked. I have zero respect for Dick Cheney. I have zero respect for George Bush.
What did it for you there, and why did you end up going towards Trump?
It was a lie.
And this
they lied about the Iraq War. There was no reason for us to go into war in Iraq other than the military-industrial complex
It's just conspiracy
wanted
theory
a
too,
war.
Yeah.
The global corporations, do they have, the Goldilocks question: too much, just enough, or too little power? Where would you
I feel like
place
their
it?
only thought is more money,
Right.
more power. That's all you care. Whoever has the most money.
Obviously, it's too much.
Yep.
When you have a company like BlackRock that's worth $9 trillion,
And Vanguard's what?
Vanguard's $8 trillion.
Wow.
Obviously, I'm not going to argue. There's a problem with that.
Do you think the finance sector,
Yeah.
does it have too much power, just the right amount of power, not enough power?
Way too much power.
The financial sector.
100%. Yes. These people really, a lot of these people they don't realize are unelected officials. So all these politicians have this plan for how they're going to fix the economy, but then they just get in there, they don't do anything, and they're funded by the people, and those people are not elected, and they control the people that are elected.
What role do you think, the consolidation of these larger corporations? I came from an agricultural background, and now it'll be 3 or 4 companies that control the entire market for chicken, eggs, for beef.
That shouldn't happen.
Yeah. The working class has gotten beaten up because of the loss of small businesses. And my question would be, I would say, why aren't they here anymore?
As a small business owner, I feel like we aren't represented that much in America.
Do you see a problem with that kind of operation?
Oh,
know what I mean?
100%.
When it's concentrated.
Because the big guys are beating out the small guys or even the family-owned businesses, easily.
A lot of that's driven by these really large corporations.
Which
that
is
are
sad,
just
which
by
is
their
sad.
size,
Yeah.
pushing the little guy out.
Yes.
How big?
I
Yeah,
think
that
they
is
should
sad.
give them a part of the market where they allow them to build up and develop and run their business. They may not want to be as large as the large cap companies.
Correct.
But allow them to build and develop to be able to take care and also contribute their part to society.
Correct.
Yeah.
What kind of a problem do you think that is? Do you think
That's an ultimate problem. That reminds you of watching them westerns, movies when they would go to some small town and the one guy owns the bar, he owns the tack place, he owns that. Yes, there's so many houses for sale in our neighborhood. I was going to go to town and say, are these all, can we find out? Are these just real people buying them, or is this like proxies?
I mean,
See,
good-
BlackRock
good-
proxies, Vanguard proxies. Are they buying all these homes so people can't own them and they're just going to rent them?
Would you be excited if Trump did anything to rein in?
Well, of course. It's just,
It's a monopoly that needs to be broken up. Just like, remember the telephone company in the 80s, AT&T? That was
Yeah.
broken up.
Yeah.
And that's what needs to be done.
capitalism's not the problem. It's been corrupted to such a level, just like people think all the politicians
Correct.
are corrupted. But it's
Capitalism is a great thing. Thank God we have capitalism, because then you can be financially wherever you want to be in this country. But you do have people that abuse that.
Monopoly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And where you don't have, they can make a monopoly where you have no chance on the
That's
board.
right.
Not even a thought.
Crush.
It's corrupted at the highest levels of these corporations, like you said, being owned. Instead of 200 of them, you're down to 4. That's
And the
massive
government-
control.
You think somebody like Trump with the billions in the business, we're talking about really large monopolies here. He's more in there, period.
Yeah, I agree. You're right,
Do you
right.
think he has a financial interest to do that kind of policy?
I always even consider Trump even like a crony capitalist. He's not perfect, you know what I mean? He was a capitalist guy, and everybody always read where he would eminent domain against take the lady, kick her out of her house for all that stuff. Yeah, that's falls into that. Like I said, I don't know, I come to a Trump rally. Doesn't mean I think he's the greatest guy.
Can you really trust a billionaire? Help me understand why that's a thing for you.
Yeah, so with billionaires, I would say honestly, no, you can't.
Yeah.
I'll say
Why?
with Trump, when he debated Hillary Clinton in 2016, she said all these things about the tax laws, all this, and Trump said, where have you been for 30 years? You haven't done anything about it. And then he said, I know you're not going to do it, because all your donors who fund your campaign benefit from the same tax breaks and tax laws I do. Right. So whether it's left or right, these people, they're not really going to change the tax laws from the donors that are funding their campaign.
The power is so strong that these people have built up that, I don't have answers, and because I know that's what you want. You want to hear what can we do. I just don't think politics is going to do it.
Yeah.
Just getting in
Action.
the Civil War thing is just who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Kind of stuff,
Right.
What I mean?
I'm kind of in the same place. I don't have the answers. Will politics do it? If politics doesn't do it, what else will? I look out at a couple 100,000 workers at UPS recently.
Yes. Did they vote on it yet?
So
Did
they
it
haven't
pass?
voted on it yet.
I heard about that.
It was negotiated, and there was, threat of the strike. They were really organized. They won $30 billion over the term of that contract, by being organized. So I look at something like that and say, if this is about control and about working class people having a seat at the table at a company as big as UPS, we just saw their unity win $30 billion worth of, cash in the pocket. Does that sit well with folks?
Nonviolent direct action does work. We've been hearing all about the boycotts. You just mentioned 100,000 people. That's a lot of people. You don't want to mess with that.
This contract was $30 billion. That was from workers standing together. Didn't have anything to do with government. Is that something you guys support?
Sure.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Absolutely. Wow.
So if my coworkers wanted to make more, and since I want to make more, I'll probably organize something that could help make us more, like maybe a petition.
Yeah, right. Or union activity.
Yes.
A lot of that. Yeah.
Or there's a lot of other things you can do to make a lot of money. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Would you be really excited by Trump coming out and supporting workers who are doing that?
Yes.
Seeing Trump on a picket line?
Yes.
Yeah. Hot button issues. You can't get away from them. You never hear about UPS.
Not today. No, honestly, I didn't know about it until you told me.
Why do you think that is?
Well, they just made a big move doing that too.
Because who's running the show? Listen, we lost our republic decades ago. We're living in an oligarchy.
Yeah.
So they're the ones calling the shots because that's where the money's come from. The media, everybody.
You'll see things like the board or whatever they put on, the TV. You'll have
trying to divide people.
Yes.
A lot of the stories are trying to divide
exactly
people.
Divide, keep them off the ball.
We're not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, it's weird that it's that.
They want. I feel like
weird
this is all
that
for
we're
distraction, to be honest.
Yeah.
They want us to argue.
Yeah.
They want us to
This
argue.
facade of
Yes.
They know that
These people are telling the truth.
Yeah, and the media knows that, and the left knows that. If we could put more focus on the argument, it's going to take less off what's really going on behind the scenes. So let's make a Tupac and Biggie situation so that we can work the other stuff.
Them less accountable. The
Correct.
media, holds
correct.
them less accountable.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. And the only thing I disagree with this whole scenario is I don't see not one black face. I don't see anybody, and that's what it need to be
that
more
a black
people.
guy like
I was
right
trying to wonder. It kind of looked like, but we
well-
need more people of color coming out here because that's why if you have a percentage of people of color, then you're gonna have more percentage of people of color gonna come out because they're gonna see that percentage of people of color that come out.
Yeah.
But by
Or
themselves,
be the
people
first. Be the first.
Or be the
They're
first.
gonna welcome you regardless, but people don't know that. They
Correct.
still have the stigma in their mind based
Correct.
off of how the left media has portrayed him
Correct.
to be.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Or there's two sides when in
No.
reality. There hasn't been two sides since the 1980s.
These are
Oh, there
just
we
the
go.
conversations that we had at one Trump rally, but you saw it. It did not take long to find people who agree that politicians should reject the money from billionaires, should break up massive corporate monopolies, end forever wars, and join workers on the picket line. And you would never know that if you just watched Fox or CNN. So let's try a thought experiment. What would it look like if for this one presidential election, we had conversations like these that focused on the working class, what they demand, what they need, what they deserve? What would the debates be about? What would the candidates' platforms be like? Who would ultimately win, and how would they be forced to deliver?
All right, that was good. That
was really good. Not what I expected. I don't know what I expected to hear.
Yeah, me
pretty
too.
much the stances that we've heard before.
Of course.
But I like this perspective.
Yeah.
Because it points out the differences, but also the likenesses.
For sure.
And how we are more alike than we think.
For sure.
And how they want to point out things to make us divided.
For sure.
This was good.
It was good. And I love the point. It felt soft. It felt life. It felt more relaxing on this interview. It didn't feel extreme. I didn't feel any. It felt peaceful understanding. People were probably in the background looking like, what are they talking about? Which, then you probably want to, instead of look, you probably want to step up to the plate and then ask and get the questions answered.
But people were really chill giving their, honest answer. Yeah. There was no animosity. You didn't feel that. They were just giving the facts based off of their views. And that was good. It was a great perspective.
I think Trump should focus on definitely repainting his picture differently, like he has been. He's gotten a lot better. He's gotten a lot better in the past. As he repaints his picture differently, people will hearten to listen, because you have a big percentage of Republican people that refuse by any means to vote for him. So I'm saying, even for those people,
and they don't even know why. I'm curious to know,
because they're traditional Mitch McConnells.
Yeah, they don't even know why. They don't even know why. The man came in and turned this country around a whirlwind. It's just unbelievable. And he doesn't seem like he doesn't have Trump. He doesn't seem
a good whirlwind, right?
Yes, he doesn't have.
That's not a tornado.
He doesn't have the political affiliations that a lot of these politicians have.
Those connections.
I'm sure he may have made some friends
and probably knows
in
all
policy,
these people
and in government.
But they ain't my homeboy.
But that was the goal. He wasn't. Well, that wasn't the goal, to come in to be liked and be friends with all these folks.
Correct.
Because then that's how you can become biased, and you can start seeing it from a perspective that's going to lead you not to make the best decision overall, versus being influenced by a particular mindset or perspective.
Right.
So, but I really liked this video. I thought that was good. I thought it was really good.
I agree. All right, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't take a nosedive, but comment down in the section below if you want some more. We gotta go. Bye bye.
Yeah. Love you guys.